Hey guys, so here's my first July update for my off-grid solar system and my T-Rex version 2, which you see here behind me. Since my last video where everything was going great, I have had some issues. Unfortunately, for some reason, output from my solar panels dropped, and I don't have any compiled data or anything of actual output of the system or anything. It's just me looking at the control panel. So every time I looked at it, it's hovering between 3 and 4.5 kilowatts coming from my solar, which is just so weird because it could be a beautiful, perfect sunny day. And I have seen days where I'm getting 10 kilowatts. So it makes me think the system is working, but it's just so weird how sometimes output is so low. Some people have commented in my videos, they'll say that the output could be lower because the battery isn't calling for a charge, or the battery doesn't need to be charged. And that's definitely true. I've noticed that happening, but in most of these cases, the battery needs to be charged. Sometimes it's only 40% full, and it's just trickling in. And then oddly enough, when I plug in one of my electric cars, then the output from the solar panels would jump up. Sometimes, like right now, for example, I just plugged in my car, and output jumped from 3 to 4.5. Same battery, same everything else. I don't know why. Clear skies, it's just weird. I think there's still some things we need to check out with the inverter. I think I have the settings all correct, but there's something that I'm missing. Princeton Power's customer service has been a little iffy. They seem to want me to pay them just to talk to them about the inverter, which kind of sucks. But I kind of have to because they're the ones with the info. They have all the answers. The manual is okay, but it doesn't cover everything. So we're trying to get a hold of them, even just for somebody to answer some questions. Even if I do have to pay them, we're trying to get them to give me a hand. They haven't really been responding to emails. So hopefully soon we can dig into that. Also, something that happened since the last video is that it seems to connect or disconnect from the grid whenever it wants to. There's a switch inside the inverter that I can connect the grid. So when I connect it, when I close that switch, sometimes it connects right away, sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it doesn't. And then when it is connected to the grid and it is recharging my batteries and the car and loads for the house, whatever I have plugged in, it could stay connected for 5 minutes, 3 hours, or all day, or it could immediately shut off. So we can't find the setting or any parameter why or any reason why that it just seems to connect and disconnect from the grid whenever it wants. So that's an answer we obviously need to have before winter. So for right now, I'm getting by, but that was an issue that came up since the last video because I had such poor output from my solar panels. We had to go on grid for probably half the days. So yeah, quite a bit. 50% roughly, we had to go on grid for at least a little while to top off batteries or to charge a car or something. So that's got to get fixed. But yeah, you can see the T-Rex. It's connected, it's working. I did have a setting on the inverter that I had to change, and that's just the series cells. That determines voltage based on how many cells you have in a battery pack. And I won't get into all of it, but yeah, just had to change that one number. So that's it for this little clip. We'll see how the rest of the month goes, and I'll update you guys based on what I find. Hey guys, another update video for you. Right now it's middle of July. I'm not even sure what day it is, but we've been having a lot of really, really hot weather, and we found another fault with the inverter. The inverter does not like our air conditioner. Every time we go to turn it on, it trips the whole system and everything has to restart, and it takes, I don't know, like a minute or something for everything to come back on. It was getting really annoying. The family wasn't enjoying that part of it at all. What's weird is that it would first try, the whole system would trip and go down, all the power in the house would go out, but then it would reboot a minute later and it would work. The air conditioner could turn on, but that initial surge, that first time, always tripped the system. And of course, the air conditioner isn't running all the time. The blower motors are usually running, but the system wasn't always on. So every time the air conditioner would turn back on, the system would trip. The family was really sick of it. So I had to rewire my breaker box. I ended up putting the air conditioner on the grid panel. So right behind me right here is the grid panel. So on that one, I added the air conditioning, so we can now safely run that all the time, and one of my open EVSE car chargers. So that was our way around the issue of the inverter disconnecting from the grid and all that stuff. And what's nice about this is we can charge a car at full power whenever we want. We don't have to watch solar power. Unfortunately, it is back to grid power, but sometimes we just need full power for a faster charge so we could make a trip or something. So we have that, and now we have the benefit of having AC on whenever we need to. The family has definitely been much happier since I did that a few days ago. And we also just received our first bill. So this is our first electric bill since being totally partially off grid, because like I said in the last clip, we have had to go on grid here and there a little bit. The bill was only 50 bucks. So that's looking pretty good. We're trending downwards. I hope to get that number a little lower. We'll see. Hopefully we can. This month, I don't know, just because of the issues we've been having, but hopefully we can keep working on that and maybe get that bill a little bit lower. That's it for this quick clip, and I'll report when I have some more news. Hey guys, today is Saturday, July 19th. I thought I'd put together another update for you. This month has just been rough for output. It's just been really frustrating. For example, yesterday, my wife and I left, so we weren't even home, and it was cloudy, but we should have had better output from the panels. We were gone most of the day with pretty much no power being used in the house, and we came back and the battery was still like basically empty. We were at like 330 volts, which is not empty. It's pretty low for the RAV4 battery pack, but I'm just getting really frustrated because for some reason the inverter seems like it doesn't want to give us power unless there is a load that needs it, when it's supposedly programmed so that it's always sending 15 kilowatts, which is a 10 kilowatt inverter. It's just a setting. Basically maximum power into the battery based on what I understand on the settings for this inverter. So what I've noticed is every time I plug in anything, it will jump up a little bit on the output from the solar panels. Sometimes it's only a kilowatt, sometimes it could be 2 kilowatts, but it usually jumps up, which is frustrating because that power could be going into the battery. My battery needs the power. According to the settings and everything that I can see, it should be charging the battery, but the power is trickling into the battery at like 3 kilowatts. I just don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, Princeton Power has kind of disappeared. They haven't really responded to my emails, my installer's emails. A while ago, they did give me answers to a bunch of questions, and it definitely was helpful, and I really very much appreciated it. But then after that, they said, if you want any more answers, you're gonna have to pay for it. So I said, okay, that sucks. I don't really want to pay for it. I mean, I just spent all this money on an inverter. It wasn't directly from them, but it's their inverter. But I said, okay, and then all of their techs are busy. So it's been, I'd say, at least a month since that last communication, and all of their techs have just been busy, too busy to talk to me. I'm kind of limping along. I'm afraid of what winter is gonna be like, but we're definitely gonna have to get this thing solved. And it's not... Another June update for you guys. Today is June 28th, and as you can see, it's pretty cloudy. Not a perfectly clear day out there, but I'm charging both of our electric cars and the T-Rex version 2 right now with the Tesla 85 kilowatt hour battery pack is powering the house. So I just popped out here to check and see what's going on, and well, now it's 6.4, well, 6.5, 7.5, 8.7. So when I came out here and I saw 8.7 kilowatts, I'm like, holy cow, what is going on? I was just so surprised to see it that high. It's bouncing around a bit because of the clouds, but it's 7.8, 7.9, 8.9. So I'm really happy to see that kind of output. I wasn't expecting to see that when I came out here. I was worried that I was draining this battery by charging the two cars over here. 9.2, 9.3, holy cow, on this cloudy day. It's so weird. I don't quite get it, and I have multiple calls and emails to Princeton Power to get some more clarification on this inverter and how it operates, the priorities that it makes. I don't want to flame them yet because I'm really still hoping to get some help. But on my last phone call with them, after emailing for a long time and not hearing anything for about a month, and because we ran out of power last weekend when I was gone, and it was just huge inconvenience. If you watched my last video, you'd know. So because of all that, I decided to give them a call, and it didn't go so well. Nobody's ever available to talk, and she told me that they only do troubleshooting in 8-hour blocks, and each 8-hour block is $2,250. And I'm like, I just need 30 minutes of somebody's time. I would gladly pay for 30 minutes. I would pay an hour. Unfortunately, they're holding all the cards because nobody else in the world knows anything about this inverter. So I really need their help. I'm hoping they come around and they can help me just troubleshoot this thing and figure out why it shuts off. Hopefully for the August update, I'll have some positive news on that front. But I guess that's it for the July update. It's limping along. It's doing okay. My bills are definitely going down. So it's mostly positive. It's just those couple issues that really need to be figured out. And unfortunately, without the company that manufactured the product, I don't think I'll be able to do it on my own. And this winter is going to be extremely tough if we can't get that part figured out. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching this update, guys, and I'll see you next month. Hey guys, so I'm here. I just finished editing the latest video. After rewatching it, I realize it is kind of negative. So I do want to apologize because nobody wants to watch that. It's not fun or anything. I've just been frustrated here in July with the problems I've had with this inverter and the lack of customer support from Princeton Power. I'm a very optimistic person by nature, so I really hope that we can still work this out and they call me and we can fix this thing. I'm just sorry to you guys that so much of that negativity conveyed into this video. Something positive that I wish I included in this but just forgot is that I still have the products that Midnight Solar sent me. And if you watched a previous video about all this stuff, I was having issues with one of their products. It just wasn't working. Again, kind of because of the inverter. It turns out, we think, the inverter was sending out some kind of frequencies that were jamming their frequencies that they use for their solar cutoff, the solar safety switch. So they sent me a wired version for free. So, I mean, I paid the initial few $400 or something for the original product from them, but they sent me this upgraded, better wired version for no extra money. I think they claimed it was worth like $1,200 or something like that. But either way, I hoped to do an unboxing someday with that and show the installation of it. Unfortunately, with all these other problems that we're still trying to solve, we haven't even gotten to that. I'm also still waiting for Kilowatt Consulting, who was the original designer and original installer for the system. I'm still waiting for them to come out and install that. So once that happens, I could do an unboxing and an installation video of that. So hopefully that'll be a nice positive video and forward progress. Yeah, so I guess that's about it. But thanks for putting up with this. Sorry it's kind of negative. Hopefully August I will have some more positivity and good news.